What's up, everybody? It's that time again. Big Blue Power Hour. What's going on, Evan?
Not
Week
much, man.
7.
Having a
Week
fantastic
7.
week.
Yeah, it's been pretty good. Besides the Giants losing a tough one last week to the Cincinnati Bengals,
Listen, they only lost
17-7.
because I took them. You keep talking me into taking them, and when I take them, they lose.
Well, I took them also, and they lost. So,
Listen, God has punished me enough. Not only did they lose, we lost Andrew Thomas for the year.
oh,
God's
geez,
telling
that's
me,
like
he's
a
like,
huge
sit your
loss.
ass down. You're not allowed to be happy for this team.
Oh man, at least Malik Neighbors is back. At least that's a positive. We'll see if it's a positive. You're hoping it's a positive. Could have used them last week, but tough loss to Cincinnati Bengals. The defense played well, but the offense was horrible. Just
Horrible.
not very good. 2 missed field goals too.
2 missed field goals. Really a blunder on the defense. They played very well. It's just you don't think Joe Burrow is going to run for a 50-yard touchdown?
Oh, what I don't like about that play is the alignment. They had like Ojolari like it was like a 10-yard split, like the 8 yards apart.
Mm-hmm.
And Burrow's not known for his running. He gave up a 47-yard touchdown run, and that like makes a difference in the game pretty much. The 2 missed field goals. I don't know what happened to Joseph. He was doing fine, and then we had a different kicker this game.
I don't know what's going on. Hopefully Graham Gano can get his shit together because
I don't know what's up with him. I have no idea.
Because it seems like there's always a circumstance of why we lose that could have been avoided.
Yeah, we got the 2 field goals. You have a chance to win the game in the end, but the offense was just not good enough.
Besides Minnesota, we've had beaten ourselves before anybody else has beaten us.
It's typical Giants, right? The past decade, that's typically what happens.
Other teams have whipped our ass in the past 10 years.
Well, I would say last year, but some years they've been competitive. I'm just saying something always seems to happen. You know what I'm saying? It's just always something. So I was hoping that we did be able to get to 500, but now they're 2-4, and we'll talk about the next game coming up from Sunday. But I just feel bad for the defense. The defense has been playing really well, and to kind of limit Chase and Higgins after the game they had previously.
Yeah.
I think it is impressive. I think the defense is solid. Their pass rush is solid. But we're having the same conversation again where their offense just can't score enough points. Because this is a winnable game. It's another winnable game they lost, which is
And the thing is,
a
what you
shame.
said was, we thought it was going to be, 31-28 because
I thought
Cincinnati's offense had been such on fire.
Oh yeah, they were
that
really
Washington
good. Yeah,
game, they went back and forth with Washington. We held them to 10. Well, let's count it as 10.
They scored a touchdown like at the end with like 2 minutes left in the game.
Yeah,
So it was
a garbage
basically
time touchdown.
10 points, and the defense was stuck on the field. But
so really, 10 points. We held Washington to 18 or 21. If you want to count it that way.
Dallas to 20.
Dallas to 20. If this offense was just, and we'll get into
a little bit better.
Who we were talking about earlier.
Yep. Yeah.
If this offense was just a little bit more firepower, just a little bit more, they are in it.
I think
they
Neighbors
are 5-2,
the past
5-1.
Yeah. Yeah, it just sucks because you have 3 winnable games. Washington, Dallas, and the Bengals. They're all winnable football games. You were in every game, and it's just a shame. Neighbors would have helped the past 2 games, obviously, but you still need to be efficient. One of the biggest things I noticed about this last game is Dable's play calling was awful. I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Like I thought a lot of situations play calling was awful. They didn't execute. Jones didn't play well at all. 186 yards and two picks. That one pick was awful. You can't really throw that ball. It's a wasted opportunity. It's points you leave off the board. So it's just a shame, but that was the biggest concern I had. I'm pleased with the offensive line, besides losing Andrew Thomas for the year. I'm pleased with the defense, but the offense just isn't what it needs to be.
I don't know if we lose him for the most. They say we're going to lose him for about 12 weeks. But these doctors and how rehab is. We saw Adrian Peterson come after an Achilles tear 5 weeks.
Oh well, that was like I mean, it goes that's like a 2,000-yard seat, like one of his best season
Yeah,
ever.
so like
Wild.
I
That
think if they really need to get him back, they'll get him back.
yeah,
Like they're gonna have him probably. He went next day to get the surgery. You know, they'll have him in rehab as soon as they can. They'll have him on the best. Like they're just gonna put money into having him at the best he can be. You know, send him out for a couple weeks and then right before the IR, put him back on the active roster.
yeah. It would be nice. It sucks losing Andrew Thomas, and Azuna's going to take his place. We'll see how he
But the thing
does.
is, though, like this one, it's getting me with this guy. You know, this is your fourth season where you've been hurt.
Yep, yep. He missed a lot of last year. He missed kind of like a third of the season the year previously,
Yeah.
and he just can't stay healthy. The guy just can't stay healthy.
So,
Just
like at
just
this
can't.
point, it's gonna be time to start having to talk about getting picks for him, sending him to somebody that you know.
I don't know if they're gonna do that necessarily, but I just don't like that he's hurt. That's really
If if
you need
if,
to be on
if
the field.
Uzue comes in and plays well, I wouldn't mind getting rid of him in that trade to somebody who we were about to talk about.
Yeah,
And maybe
I
a pick on top of that. But you know, it's
just sucks that he's hurt like a good amount of the time. He can't stay
because he's
healthy.
the
It's a
best one in the
liability.
draft class. Like he's probably one of the best in the NFC.
Yeah, he's a great tackle when he's healthy. He's a real good tackle. And unfortunately, that's a big loss for them. I think the rest of the offensive line will be fine. But the Andrew Thomas loss is big, and he didn't play well either in this team. There were a couple of situations where he gave up some pressures, gave up a sack, but also Jones didn't play well, good enough in this game as well. They just did not execute
Which
the
brings me
entire game.
to with the you know with the trade deadline coming up.
The
There's
rumor
been
I
rumors
heard,
about Giants going after Stafford.
I think
Now,
Stafford would be better, but you're going to have to restructure a lot of guys and move some money around because they only have like $3.5 million.
if you get rid of Andrew Thomas, a lot of that restructuring
If
is
they
not needed.
did, but I don't see them doing that when he's injured. I think that's something that would happen when he's healthy, if that would ever happen.
Now, say you give them Thomas, Ojolari, and a four or a fifth or
Well,
sixth.
you're probably going to have to give at least a second round pick.
Mm-mm.
You're going to have to give a couple of picks and a player.
Yeah, I think one solid offensive piece, one solid defensive piece, and a late round pick would do it.
Yeah, but I think it also depends on where the Giants are in the season. They're going to have to recover somehow. And then we'll talk about this next thing coming up a little bit here, but they're going to have to be close to 500 or somewhere around there to really make a move like that. Because what's the point of making the move if you're not going to be in the playoffs?
Yeah.
You know,
And where are they
when
sitting
when
at 2-5 or 2-4?
2-4.
So they win their next two games. We go into week 8 with the trade deadline,
Yeah,
or we do 3-5. That
yeah, I
still
don't know.
gives you hope that you can go out ahead of it.
Yeah, I think it would definitely be a bold move. It's just a rumor I heard. Stafford's better than Jones, uh, but I don't want to give up the wrong draft pick or wrong piece, for that. That would help us in the future. And a guy that's not playing well is Jalen Hyatt, but I don't think they're going to give up on him because Jalen Hyatt was in the game when Neighbors was out. And he didn't really make an impact. He didn't really do much. I think he has like 1 or 2 catches on the whole season.
Yeah.
So, like I said, tough loss versus the Bengals. I really thought they could win this game. And it just sucks that it's another winnable game that they lose. The third one this year.
Third one this year. More like the fourth one, really, but
Yeah,
yeah.
like I would like Dable, to be honest. Like, one thing I want to say is Dable to give up the play. I don't like Dable's play calling. He did really good in the Seattle game. Did really bad in the Bengals game. It's like topsy turvy with him.
Now, is it his play calling or just Jones's inability
Both.
to run that?
It's both. I think sometimes Dable tries to call some plays that Jones really isn't in his skill set. There are some. I think there's some things you're asking Jones to do they can't do on a consistent basis. But it's more situational, and I just don't like some of the situations, some of the like concepts. Yeah, I just I don't know. I just don't like his play calling this year. And he better have good play calling this game coming up, and having Neighbors back, I think is big. Malik Neighbors is a big impact, but I don't want him to force feed him the ball. I want him to spread the ball around and run the football.
Yeah. So, like I said, tough loss on Sunday. We got to move past it, though. Moving into the Eagles, we do have a special guest with us.
Yep.
If you want to bring him on.
No, you could introduce him.
Well, everybody knows my father. Host. He was the host of PNM and AM, and he's coming over. Mike's locker room talk. As you know on the show here. Big Eagles fan. My father. We're gonna bring him on. This is what we call hate week between me and him.
Yep.
And then he knows Danny. He's the one that brought me Danny, introduced me to him, and got Danny on the show with me. It's been one of my greatest gifts on this network. But please introduce him. Yeah, my
Yep.
father, Mike.
What's up, Mike?
Hey, Danny.
It's
Hey, what's
cute
up, kid?
green. Ugh.
Ah,
Fucking
Oh
shit
God,
out of
yeah,
here.
burn that hat, burn it,
no,
burn it.
no way, never that.
The
Danny,
fucking
you know me
rabbit
too.
wings.
Well, listen, you can talk all that smack all you want. We own that ass over the last
Look
decade,
at that
so.
fucking
Oh, that
Uh,
bastard
is true.
Jersey Seagull.
but I know honestly, guys, looking at this game going forward, man, I'll tell you what, I really give the Giants defense the edge over the Eagles offense. One being Jordan Mailata is now out for a
That's a big
considerable
loss.
amount of time. Yeah, and he's being replaced by Fred Walker.
Yeah,
Now the guy Fred's done a pretty good job. I mean, he took Lane got hurt a couple weeks ago. He stepped in and was really good in that Saints game when the Eagles went down there and beat the Saints.
yeah,
Um, so my whole thing is this: looking at the Giants, you know, you guys were hitting the nail kind of right on the head there with the Giants. From what I've seen from afar with them, Daniel Jones is not looking over the whole field because he has missed wide
oh,
open
he
guys.
does. Yeah,
And and to me, for the Giants, I feel for the Giants to win this game, they're going to have to run the ball, try to keep the Eagles' offense off the field. This and the only reason why I'm saying that is because now AJ, this will be AJ Brown's second game back. It'll be Schmidt's second game back.
yep,
No Dallas Goddard. Dallas Goddard's still a question mark whether he's going to play this week. So I mean, the Eagles are banged up coming into this game, but I feel like the Giants have a really good. If you look at the two defenses on paper, definitely I have to give the Giants defense the edge in this one. Although I do like the way the two rookies that the Eagles have drafted have played. Cooper DeJean was all over the field last week.
yeah,
Um, he really was. They had him playing like the nickel slot, but he was also around the line of
yeah.
scrimmage, hitting people. And Quinyon Mitchell is as advertised, guys,
He's
and
a
that's the
talented
only thing I
player.
could. He is very talented, and I'm interested to see how they're going to line him up with you guys got a pretty good duo up there
Yeah,
with Neighbors
neighbors.
and Robinson. And
Yeah.
Robinson, I love Wendell Robinson. I think he is a
Oh, he's good,
very,
man.
very good.
Yeah,
Yeah, I watched him a couple weeks ago when you guys played Seattle, and you
yeah,
guys didn't have Neighbors, and that kid was just making plays. You still have the old vet over there in Darius Slayton, and
yep,
he always seems to have a good game against the Eagles. I don't know
yeah.
what it
Right.
is about this screen that he sees, but he always has a real good game. But guys, I think the guy who's probably looking more forward to this game more than anybody is your old friend and our new guy, Saquon Barkley.
Yep. Yeah.
I want to see how the Eagles are going to utilize him going
Yeah.
forward
Yep.
in this game because he really didn't touch the ball a whole lot last week. He really didn't. And down here, Danny, it's been a lot of people getting on Nick Sirianni because they feel like Nick Sirianni's getting in the way of Kellen Moore's offense.
Well, yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I would be using Barkley if I were the Eagles.
Uh, I thought they'd be using him a hell of a lot more than what they've
Yeah,
been.
yeah,
To me, you got a guy who can catch out of the backfield.
yep.
He can. Now I'm not going to say this. I will say this: over the last 3 games that I've watched with him, I was not impressed with his pass blocking. Like he got blown
Oh,
up in that Tampa.
his
Horrible.
pass blocking sucks. He's not a pass blocker at all. That's not his
Right.
strong
I
suit.
mean,
No.
a lot of people were down here killing Jalen Hurts a couple weeks back
Yeah.
when we played Tampa Bay, and he steps to the side to avoid Levante David, but Levante David just ate up Saquon Barkley,
Yeah, he went
ate
right
him
through
up,
him.
and
Yeah.
went right through him, and then ended up causing a fumble on the rebound. He was able to get off that block and come back. So it hasn't been that good. Um, I'd like to see Sirianni run the ball a little bit more, especially now that Mailata's not going to be in,
Yeah.
and I do feel like there is an edge with the Eagles' offensive line if they run the ball. Uh,
If you run the
Brian
ball, yeah.
Burns is
Yep.
yeah, Brian Burns is not good against the run. But if you are going to drop Jalen Hurts back 40 to 45 times,
Yep.
you're playing right into the hands of Brian Burns and
Exactly.
Ojulari
Dexter
and
Lawrence.
and Dexter Lawrence.
Yep.
Dexter Lawrence is going to have his hands full. Dexter Lawrence is going to have his hands full between going up against Landon Dickerson and damn, I can't remember the kid who
Just
took
because
over for Jason
I've
Kelsey.
I've seen how he's been playing lately. I think Dex eats this game. There's nothing that stopped him all year. I
Or at
don't
least
think
he
Landon
takes
Dixon's going to
takes up,
stop him this year.
or he takes up the offensive line and someone else gets in. But like you said, that
He's
like
just. I think he's
yeah,
having. He's what? He's about
he
seventh or
is.
eighth in MVP voting right now for Dex. Like Dex
Oh
Lawrence is
yeah,
having a
Lawrence
hell of
is
a
a
year.
stud.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
thing that
Lawrence is a
yeah the
good.
thing that I would do is definitely run the ball because the Giants give up over 5 yards a carry this year for in the rush defense. And that's a big concern. And I do like the way that the two rookies for Eagles are playing. We also have two good rookies that are playing, Phillips and Newman. I think Phillips and Newman are playing really well. I think that there's two rookies and they're gonna have to have a good game because with Devontae, Smith and Brown, I think Brown is they're he's probably the guy that I'm worried about the most, and Saquon Barkley, because if I'm the Eagles, I'm gonna run the ball a lot. I'm not gonna drop back. Giants have 26 sacks. But my biggest concern, for the Giants is they're getting their offense going. Even though the back end of your defense isn't very good, their offense seems to sputter and not be consistent. And you know, it's just I think it's I think it's I think the Giants gonna have to play well. But losing Andrew Thomas is big for us. That's just like you
Yeah,
lost by Lana. Losing Andrew Thomas is huge, and I don't know how Zudu's gonna play. And I also don't know how Dable's going to call this game, if they're going to drop back to throw or establish the run. I'm not really worried about the Eagles' pass rush here because you guys have 11 sacks, I think, on the year, which is
yeah,
surprising
but
to me.
well, here's the thing: we have 11 sacks, but 5 of them came last week. And
Yeah,
believe it or not, Josh Huff actually got off the milk carton and actually came and played last week for us. But I will say this: the old man of the group, Brandon Graham, has been rejuvenated this year. My man is getting after the quarterback. He's looking like a guy who's like in his 3rd year. He's
yeah,
really, really getting off the ball. Josh Sweat's been coming around over the last couple of weeks. The whole thing with Josh Sweat, and I'll tell you this now, after watching him for so many years, this guy has so many pressures on the quarterback. He doesn't
yeah,
always get home, but he will pressure the hell out of you. The guy you got to worry about in the middle is Jalen Carter. If Jalen Carter
yeah,
comes motivated to play this game, he's our version of Dexter Lawrence. He will wreak havoc on your offensive line. The one thing I will
yeah,
say this though, speaking about the secondary for the Eagles, you know, their struggles have been, the it's been the veteran guys who have struggled. It's been the
yeah,
Darius Slate. It's been the Gardner Johnsons. It's been Avante Maddox. Those guys have struggled. Guys like Killy Ringo and I'm trying to think of the young guy, the other corner we have that
they're all
man, his
young.
name slipped me. Yeah, the kid we just got from the Colts that got suspended last year for gambling. Uh, him. They've been playing really good fundamental ball. Keely Ringo, if he's on any other team in the NFL, he's starting.
Yeah.
He's just happened to be sitting behind Darius Slay, which you guys are talking about. Some of the moves you've been hearing that they're going to make.
Yep.
The Eagles have been tied to a couple pass rushers that it just came out this week that they made phone calls about. One of
Yeah.
them's Myles Garrett, and
Oh, that
believe
would
it
be
or not, I don't
crazy.
know. I
The
don't know
Browns
how
are like in a
Howie.
free fall.
Yeah, listen, the Eagles got another second round pick because it looks like Hassan
Yeah.
Reddick's about to be traded. So they basically have another second round pick that they already had two coming in to the next year. Now they're going to have a third second round pick. So they're going to be able to really do some finagling. And plus, I looked at even like if they were to acquire a Myles Garrett, like there's still enough room to fit him under the cap with his current salary,
Well, they do a
which
good job.
blows my mind.
Yeah, the
Yeah, I don't
Eagles
know
do
what
a good
Howie
job.
does.
Yeah, I
Howie's
don't know
got
how he
pictures
does
of
it.
Yeah.
he's got pictures of Roger and a goat somewhere. I mean, I'm convinced of it because the way he finagles salary caps here, it's just it really is amazing. Now, him drafting talent is a whole other thing. He can go out and get good free
Yeah.
agents, and he's good with the cap. They got to start getting better with these home run hits as far as draft. Jordan Davis, I'm starting to fall out of favor with him. Uh, to me,
Yeah.
he doesn't look like he's progressing, although he did have a pretty good game a week ago.
Yeah.
But he's been getting a lot of scrutiny down here. This
Well, that's
Eagles Giants
Philadelphia.
game. Well, here, listen, Danny, we're the same as New York, but we're just 90 miles south. That's it.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
so. I mean, the way you guys are feeling about your Giants up there, we're
Uh,
feeling the only game this year that we felt like we shouldn't have won was the Tampa game. The Tampa game, they were unprepared, uninspired, and they got their ass kicked for 60 minutes. But other than that, I mean, if you take a look at it, you know, they lost to uh they lost to Atlanta at home. That shouldn't have been a
yeah,
loss. They should have beaten the Falcons.
it's a winnable
So
game. They let go, like
right,
us.
right,
We beat
right.
every game
So
except the Minnesota game.
right, it's going to be a slot. I don't think it's going to be a sloppy game, but I think it's going to be a defensive game, which is something that
Yeah.
an Eagles Giants game hasn't been for a long time.
No,
Um,
typically it's not.
As long as it
Typically
don't
it's
end
not.
on the fucking end point that gets ran back. That's
Oh,
all I care about.
jeez. I remember where exactly I was sitting that day to this day. But like we were saying, Mike, this is a big game I think it's a bigger game for us. But the Eagles also want to get back on track. I'm interested to see how you guys are going to cover Neighbors. Exactly.
dude,
Because he's a lot to deal with for anybody. I'm just interested to see how Dable's going to call it and how your defense is going to defend
if
him.
if I'm coaching the Eagles right now, I'm sticking Quinyon Mitchell on him because I feel Quinyon
I'd stick
Mitchell's
the most
probably our best.
talented guy on him,
Right,
without
that's
a
what I'm
doubt.
saying. Darius Slay has not lived up to
Yep.
expectations this
And
year.
he's older.
He's been bad.
Yeah,
Well,
he's
he's
also
been bad.
a year
Like
older. Yeah,
he is, he is. But I mean, I would feel really comfortable if they put Kelly Ringo or Quinyon Mitchell opposite of Neighbors. I would do Kelly Ringo only because they're familiar with each other.
true.
You know what I mean?
They played against
If you
each
take
other.
a look
Yeah,
at it. Yeah, they played against each other in the SEC. So, he got to see him 3 years. So he would have more familiarity. I would go with Kelly Ringo with this. And Slay's not 100% either. He got banged up towards the end of the game last week as well. He had to
yeah,
get taken out. So, if I'm doing that, I'm locking Kelly Ringo up with him. Kelly Ringo's a taller defensive back with speed. He can run with them. Uh, you know, and as long as I don't see, I think your tight ends might have a pretty decent game too, Danny. With you
maybe.
because Gardner Johnson has been just whiffing all year on
Yep.
tackles,
And you'll
just
have Wendell
whiffing on them.
Robinson in the slot. A
That
whole
dude's
lot.
a beast. That's going to be a matchup I want to see. I want to see
Yeah,
Robinson go against Cooper DeJean. I think that's going to be if you lock down, if you have it to where it's Ringo against Neighbors, DeJean against Robinson. I really want to see the outcome of that. I
yeah,
know, like I said, sometimes they're probably the way he is in Fangio's defense regime. He will play up around the line of scrimmage. Also, take a note too. Sidney Brown, our free safety and slash cornerback from a year ago, he's
Yeah.
also coming back. So I don't know if he'll be ready for the Giants game. You got to look and see what. I don't know if the inactives. We have to wait for the
Yeah.
inactives to see what's what. But he's also close to returning too. So that's going to actually help out that back end. Like I said, I'm happy with the Eagles.
Another thing about Neighbors though that I want to point out, he's still second in the league for passing yards, went missing 2 games,
That's
and
crazy.
No,
just blew.
he's a beast.
Yeah,
Listen, I watched him. I literally watched him save Daniel Jones's ass in Cleveland. That Cleveland game I watched, and
he touchdown.
my man was saving his bacon. And my man was saving his bacon all game
Oh
long.
yeah. Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
you guys got a stud up there with that kid. If you ever get a real quarterback up there, Jesus God, like if you get
Steve.
Matthew Stafford,
Yep.
you get Stafford coming up there.
Well, I've been
Good luck,
hearing about
man.
that. Yeah, I got a comment here. Steve Fuentes says, "What's up, Michael? Let's go Birds."
Yeah,
Should
what's
be a
up,
good
Steve?
Don't bring
good
that
game,
goddamn
Steve. I hope
bad
it's a good
juju on
game.
this network.
Yeah, but
Hey,
that
listen, you got an Eagles fan on your network, knucklehead. You gonna get Eagles fans. Sorry.
hey
You say,
it's
welcome to the show. Thank you
yeah,
for
it's
having me.
rivalry week. What
Yeah.
can we say? So you mentioned I saw a rumor that the Giants are going to try and go after Stafford, which I find interesting. He's definitely better than Jones, and a guy with like Malik
Oh,
Neighbors, he could do something with him. I'm
That
interested
Danny,
to see
ball
what
is
they
if
would give
crazy.
up, but it's a rumor that I saw this week. I don't know if it's going to happen, but you know,
Danny,
I've heard it from a couple sources.
If you guys get Matthew Stafford, you guys are going to the playoffs.
Our offense would
If you
definitely
guys
be
get
better with him.
if you guys get Matthew Stafford, you are going to the playoffs. And I'm not believing all this Commanders hype either. I'm not
Commanders are
believing
good,
them
but their
either.
defense isn't very good. Their offense, I think, is solid, but I think their defense is a lot to be
But
desired for. But
all I'm gonna say is this: as the year goes on, more and more tape's going to come out against Jaden
true,
Daniels,
yeah,
and the more tape that comes out on him, you're going to see that offense slow down. He kind of caught the league by surprise, but just go back and look at Week 1, what
yeah,
Tampa did to him. Tampa made him look like a rookie.
yeah. And he didn't
So
score a touchdown
I'm not.
versus us either.
No, right, exactly. So if they get in front of a good defense, to me, you know, I feel like the two teams really in our division that are going to be looking up. I still think you guys have a chance in this
We got to
division
win
to
though.
be a.
We got to win games, especially
But
this week.
listen,
We got to win this game.
We have the potential.
I
The potential's there. It's just the ability to capitalize on that potential. With
Oh
Daniel
man,
Jones
it's
as a
just
quarterback, we don't have it.
no,
no,
not consistently
like
either. He'll have good games, and
I,
then I
Like
don't know.
every trick in the playbook we tried to use to make him the best quarterback we could got us to the playoffs 1 year. After that, and that film came out on it. Look at the Dallas
Yeah,
game last year when they tried that rollout. What they do? Micah Parsons on a blitz. They wait. They
oh,
put
they
a
killed
QB
us.
spy on him. All his magic's gone. He can't roll out anymore. He's slow. His running has been hindered. He's scared to take off with the ball.
Well, they've
Like
been
that
running
that,
the ball
that
with him a
magic is
lot,
gone.
actually, the
yeah,
past couple of games.
I was about to say like the last couple games I saw that Seattle game, man.
He
He was
ran like 10
going
times
full.
in the last game, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah, but he used to have like a kind of like it looks like he's going slow, but he's got a little bit of a speed to him.
Yeah,
Like I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of like when your tires are spinning, they look like they're going slow. It kind of had that kind of illusion to it when he runs. Like
yeah.
I
Having
can't
a
believe
guy like
something that big and white can
yeah,
move that fast.
yeah. But the thing is, Jones just is like an average quarterback. He's not going to put you over the top, especially with a guy like Neighbors out. But I do think the Giants need to run the ball more with Tracy.
that
And Tyrell
much. What
Tracy, I like.
I like that kid too. What's up with Devin
Yeah,
Singletary? Is he hurt?
Devin Singletary, I think I don't know if he's going to be playing this week, but I like Tracy better. And the thing I don't like about Singletary is he fumbles the ball a lot.
Yeah, I
He
mean,
doesn't really
it,
protect the
it's been
football.
it's been a really weird week so far in the NFL. If you take a look, Devontae Adams goes to the Jets. Shocker there.
Yeah, that's
My
crazy.
main shocker, my shocker was Amari Cooper going to the Bills,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
it's
and
something
then
they needed.
And Cam Akers just got traded again too. He went somewhere. He went from
Oh,
Houston.
jeez.
So I
He was
mean,
on the
it,
Rams
no,
a
no, no,
couple
no.
years
He went
ago.
to. He was a couple years ago. He was on.
Yeah.
He was with the Texans this year. He was backing up Joe Mixon, and they just moved him somewhere.
All
So
right.
I mean, this has been a crazy, crazy league so far. I want to know what your guys' opinion is coming up. What do you feel is going to be the factors of the game? Me personally,
This
I think
game?
it's the two start. Yeah, I think it's the two starting quarterbacks. I think whatever one has the
Oh,
better day
yeah.
passing, their team's going to win.
Yeah, I think
I
I
know it's kind of cliche, but I just figured I'd ask.
I'm gonna say the offensive line playing well. Um, I think Neighbors needs a big game. I think DJ needs to play well. I think their defense needs to play a really good game like they did versus Seattle and the Bengals. I thought both those receiving cores are two of the top receiving cores in the league. The Giants need another game like that. Dory Jackson's out, but having Phillips and I think Banks is going to be on Brown. That's what I'm guessing. But our pass rush obviously I think it will be solid, but that's something that needs to happen on defense, and slowing down Barkley and slowing down a run game in general, because we give up over 5 yards of carry as a team. Barkley's a good player, and I hate seeing him. I'm gonna hate seeing him in the Eagles jersey. I
Oh, of
hate it,
course.
man. But
Listen.
like, yeah,
I'm a
it's
Penn State guy. I'm a Penn State guy, and I said to my son, when the Eagles signed him, I said, I said, go figure. I said, another Penn State running
yeah,
back's going to come here and wear 26 because Miles Sanders had
yeah,
26 before Barkley.
yeah.
So I'm sitting here looking. I'm like, I would feel the same way, like if Brandon
It is
Graham
what
went
it
up to play
is.
for the Giants. Yeah, Brandon Graham was almost a Giant. You know that, right?
Oh
Yeah,
He
yeah,
I
was
well
like
know.
yeah,
that.
absolutely,
He
yes.
was that close. He was about to sign a contract with the Giants, and the Eagles brought him back.
Paul Spencer just came in here as
Vikings,
a
yeah.
Viking now. I think that's a good
Vikings.
sign
Yep.
for them.
I think
Depth. I think it's good.
the key to this game is going to be if the defense can withstand that Eagles, rushing attack and passing attack.
Yeah, they have good
Make
weapons,
Hurts
man.
uncomfortable because we've seen when he's
Yeah, the
uncomfortable,
pass
he
rush.
makes stupid decisions.
Yep.
You rattle him just a little bit and you frustrate him, he doesn't make the best decisions. So if you're able to
No,
get
well,
him turnover on downs or fail and have to punt over and
Even
over and over
rush him.
again,
Even
it
rush
gets
it.
into his
Rush his
head.
throws.
Even if we can
yeah.
score
I,
on 2 out of the 5, right? If we have 10 possessions, it's 4 touchdowns or 4 whatever. Make sure you capitalize on them turning the ball over.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely. Anytime you're in the red zone, anytime they get a chance to get points, they need to capitalize, and that's been their issue. I haven't watched a lot of Eagles games this year, but I think our pass rush has to be a factor in this game, because
has
a
to.
way a
yeah.
way to disrupt the pass game is to get into Hurts and get him off it, off his spot and rush him and
And
try to
listen,
force him
I'm
into a
hoping
mistake or whatever. I don't care.
that the
Get rid of the
MetLife
ball.
turf does not recognize Saquon Barkley as a Giant and just curses the shit out of him for the first time. Because a lot of Eagles fans have been spewing the fact, oh, well, he probably don't have to play on that, bad gray or bad turf up there. The 3 times he got injured, he was not at MetLife. He tore his
Oh, that
Achilles
is
in,
true.
in
Bills.
Chicago, and he
Yep.
got hurt in Dallas.
And he
He
got
did
hurt with
not
the
get
high
hurt
ankle sprain versus the Bills.
and the Bills. He did not get
Yep.
hurt in MetLife. I just want to point
Yeah,
No,
that
he's
out
he
there.
didn't get
inconsistent.
hurt, but everybody else did on that damn field up there.
It's only
Uh,
2 years old. It's not
Well,
the old
it's
turf,
actually
but
been a lot
still.
lower since they replaced the turf.
But I
Listen,
think
I watched the game Monday night, dude. There was more black stuff coming up off of that turf. That field is horrible. I'm sorry.
Listen,
I feel
I'm
bad
trying to
that
convince
you
Dan.
guys got
I
to play
think
on
it's
that field.
haunted. I think there's a curse on that land.
Yeah, Jimmy.
Really
maybe,
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
you guys all build up on top of Jimmy Hoffa, you bastards. You should have let him rest.
Telling you.
Uh, but like
Hey,
I
I got a
said,
quick question for
yeah,
Danny
sure.
before you go. I
Yeah.
got a quick question. How good has it been? Okay, now we're all NFC East fans, but I'm sorry. You've had to have a little bit of a smile on your face watching the Dallas Cowboys get their
I
ass
was
whooped the
thinking that.
last few weeks.
I was thinking that
I mean,
before. There's
I know
nothing
our boy
better.
Paul's
And
watching.
Paul is
I
pissed.
know our
Um,
uh,
Paul Spencer goes, "Who the hell cares who wins?" my team is trash, so it won't help. But we love that. As Giants and Eagle fans, we love seeing it. Yeah, well, I can't say
Listen,
they're like right
I'm
there
gonna,
with us almost. And he
dude.
says we
I'm
will lose
shocked.
this week and are on a bye.
Yeah. Oh, he's picking. Oh, Paul's taking the bye this week, huh? Yeah, I took the bye
Yeah,
2 weeks ago when the Eagles were on it, so
The bye
I
plus
I
20.
understand. Yeah, the bye beat us 2 weeks ago. So listen, I understand. I'm really shocked though. Just to see
yeah.
like
Well,
their lack
Parsons
of a
is big
running
for
game.
them. They don't have a
Yeah,
running
yeah.
back.
Without
They have
well,
Dowdle and
Dowd and Zeke, that's it.
ancient Zeke. They need like a
But here's
And
good
then
running back.
letting Baez go to the Commanders, he's been playing great for them. And they're like, oh, yeah, we don't need
yeah,
to
that was
replace
just.
him. I'm like,
I'll tell you what. A
I
lot of
like
people don't
him.
realize it, but
Beyondish.
Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook is sitting on Dallas's practice squad right now.
He should be playing. I think Dalvin Cook should be
Like,
playing because he's better
I'm
than
pretty sure
Dowdle and
Paul
Zeke.
probably. Yeah, I mean, I
at
I want to
first,
know
I
who
thought they
pissed
were
off.
maybe like they were throwing the season to get Shadur Sanders, but then you pay Dak $60 million.
That's the quarterback. That's the way. That's what quarterback's going to cost. I tell you, any top 10 quarterback, top 5, statistically wise, it's going to cost you
It
$50 to $60
wouldn't
million
if you
dollars.
stop paying them.
It's just how it is.
If
I
the
agree,
league
though.
right now made a
Like
a
paying
combined
Jones.
thing saying no QB can make over $45 million, guess what?
Too late.
They made a pact just not to honor it.
Too late.
Right.
Okay, now it's too late. Now what's going to stop it from being 65 in 2 years?
It's going to be that is going to be the trend, and the cap will keep going up. That's just how
The
it is,
day
man.
a quarterback makes $100 million to throw a fucking football, I'm not watching the league no
It'll
more.
take less than a decade. Watch. If the league,
Dude,
if we're
you're
still
like 3
around.
years away from that. You're like three
Yeah,
years
no,
away from that
that's
now.
just that's
We're
just the
like
way
3
it
years
is.
away from the first
It's
billion
like
dollar
that with
contract.
every position. It's like that with pass rushers. It's like that with wide receivers now. You know,
Yo,
those
when do you
3
see how much
positions are like most of your cap.
yeah,
You
when do
know?
you see how much money Arch Manning gets when he comes out of
Oh,
Texas?
jeez.
That
Oh
kid
my goodness
that kid's gonna be
gracious.
the first $100 million quarterback, guaranteed.
Yeah, I hope he's a giant, but I don't. Watch, we're gonna end up being good in a couple
I
years.
guarantee
Oh here
they're gonna put him on like LA or something. They're gonna make him like
oh here
No,
no
we're gonna have
he's gonna go
his dad. I want Cooper Maine to call him back. Excuse me, Arch doesn't want to play for a team. I traded to the New York Giants, like a Philip Rivers situation.
you guys and your Mannings up there, I'll tell you.
I think Arch Manning's gonna be good, but that's in a couple years. We'll see.
listen. Archie chose Eli to go to New York. But like people don't understand why he didn't want to go to like San Diego, and they've never came out and said why. I'm like because they spit out two quarterbacks in 3 years. Or I'm sorry,
Yeah,
two quarterbacks in
had
5 years.
Breeze, let him go.
They had
Remember?
Breeze, got him hurt, and let him go. Ryan Leaf was a tremendous failure.
Oh my goodness
Why would you want your
gracious!
son to go there? I'm like, no.
Hey, we were killing him in the beginning, but he won his 2 Super Bowls, so I'm totally satisfied with that. But like
And
I
he's a
said,
first ballot Hall of Famer.
yeah. But like I said, this is a huge game coming up. Like what I said before, our offensive line, Jones has to play well. They need to run the ball well, and Neighbors needs to have a big game. I think defensively, the pass rush, and our secondary versus your receivers. Yeah, I think
I
I
want to
think
see
it's
those
good.
are 2 huge things.
what were your final predictions for the score, Pop?
I got the Birds winning
Predictions.
a close one. I got the Birds winning a close one. I'm saying 27-21, something like in that area.
Yeah.
The Eagles defense, they do bend but don't break, but they really don't give up a lot of points.
Yeah. And we don't
So
score.
with that being right, you guys don't score and they don't give up a lot of points. So, but then again, too, like I said, it really has to. This whole game's going to be on how Jalen can adjust to the pressure of the Giants'
Yeah.
defense.
It's a
If
big
if he can
thing in the game.
right, if the Giants force him to his left, you guys are going to win the game because my man
Yeah.
cannot roll out to his left and throw the ball. You force him to the right, forget about it. He's going to eat you alive.
Well, because
And
he likes going right throw. He likes throwing on the run, and he could get first downs with his legs. So, and as you saw last week, Burrow ran for a 47-yard touchdown versus us. I don't think they're going to make the same mistake, but
Yeah,
that's
I
another
mean,
thing in this game I'm going to say about Bowen is some of his alignments like screw the Giants. Like some of the
yeah,
alignments defensively really kill them.
and I will say this too: Jalen's not as kept in the pocket this year as he was a year ago.
Yeah,
Of course, a year ago he was dealing with that knee injury. He's
yeah,
healthy this year, man, and he's taken off. So, like, I mean,
yep,
he pretty much he ate the Saints alive running the ball. And same thing against Tampa. Like, even though Tampa pulled away late and kind of kicked our teeth in, he was running the ball. He was running on them as well.
yeah.
So he's been running all year long, and I'm talking about design runs where he just
Yeah, well,
gets
that's
the
what
ball
Jones. That's
and
what
goes.
Jones does too. Like I noticed that in the beginning they haven't do it, but they run the QB power play. Like Jones just been
Yep.
not even sliding, which I don't like. But he's just, I would like to see Jones
Who's
be
your
more
backup?
productive. Our backup
Who's your
is
backup up there?
Drew Lock.
Oh, Drew Lock.
Drew Lock, and then DeVito's number
And
3.
why ain't he playing? Why ain't he playing?
I don't think Daniels has the balls to bench Jones.
Not
I don't
after he
think
signed that big ass contract. No.
I don't think he has the guts unless he has throws 4 picks this week or it's just his consistency has been good. Losing Neighbors sucks, but their offensive line they finally fixed their offensive line. Now they still struggle to score points, which just sucks.
You know
Unfortunately,
what it
but
is?
yep, go ahead.
I love that kid. I love that kid Tracy that you guys
I
have, the
like
running back.
Tracy.
I
I
like
like his
him.
patience.
I like him a lot.
He uses his blocks. He's got good vision. I like the way he runs the ball, and I
Patient.
think that but the Giants will average like 3.9 a carry overall. I think they need to run the ball more and be more effective, running the football. But it's going to be tough. You're strong up the middle. I think that even though you guys only have 11 sacks, I think they're solid up front. The Eagles. So the Giants need to
Well,
show they can run the ball and then play action with Neighbors. That's how I would like the offense to go instead of the other way around.
listen, the thing that I really take away from the game is if you can get to run at our ends, I think the Giants will be
Yeah,
successful. If you try running up the middle, you're going to get hit
no,
between Jalen Carter, um, the other
yeah,
yeah, Jalen Carter. Also, Milton Williams is also a part of that, along with Big Boy uh, in the middle there. Jordan Davis. Between those three, they rotate them really good. They actually got a sixth, fifth, and sixth tackle. One guy's Thomas Booker and
yeah,
Tupulo, the young kid. Both of those guys, all 6 of those guys, man, they rotate very well
yeah,
and they always stay fresh. And they're very good. Like the Eagles have, this is the first time in a long time that we're actually getting pushed up the middle.
yeah,
It's where
which
we've
is
been getting
important.
burned.
Yeah,
If you go back, even watch the first game of the year when we played the Packers, where they were getting their chunk runs. They were getting their chunk runs running at Josh Sweat and Bryce Huff. That's where they were
yeah,
getting their majority of their runs. But like I said, Bryce Huff has been coming around. He's been playing the run a lot better. Brandon Graham, for being the
he
15-year
plays well
vet that
versus us too.
he
He always
does, he
plays
does.
well
But
versus
hey,
us.
you guys don't have to worry. We don't have Boston Scott no more, so
Oh
Fuck
God,
you
yeah,
don't have
yeah.
to
yeah,
jump.
like
He has
fucking Boston,
he's like
fucking
12
Scott, you
career
son of a
touchdowns, and
bitch.
like 10 of them are against the Giants.
Yeah,
No,
but
he's got about 30 career touchdowns, and like 20 of them are against the Giants. But
Yeah.
yeah,
like
you ain't
if
got the giant killer no more.
yeah, but I think what the Giants have been doing run scheme wise is duo where you do the double teams. And
Hmm.
I think if you're going to run the ball in Israel, you're going to run a trap plays or misdirection. I also try to run screens versus the Eagles because take advantage of because they want to come after Jones. You know that the Eagles want to do that and pressure him. Because when you pressure Jones, as you saw last week, he can make a big mistake and screw up, and that's kind of been the trend for him. And the Giants have been running a lot of screens. I would like to see the Giants do that also to take advantage of that. Coming forward and you know that's something that we'll see how they open up the game with the first 15 plays. It's always interesting to see how the teams on offense are going to approach the game when you're with your scripted plays that you're game planning for. So I'm hoping
Yeah,
for a good
I'm
game.
interested. I'm interested to see if Zach Bond is going to be used as kind of a spy on Daniel Jones because he's been our best linebacker so far this year. He
Yeah.
can come off the edge on a blitz. He can cover, and he's also really good in space. I'm still not sold on the Kobe Dean. I'm just kind of counting
Yeah.
down the days before they let Jeremiah Trotter Jr. get in there. We
The
had
Kobe
Devin White. They
Dean
let
was. How long ago did you guys get Dean? How long have the Eagles had him?
he's been his third year. He came in the same year as Jordan Davis.
Yeah, and he hasn't really
Um,
made the impact that you want.
he can't stay healthy.
You know,
He's too
that's
small, man.
or
I'm
maybe they
sorry.
have him in the wrong position,
Well,
right?
listen, they tried to move him to outside backer. They tried moving him to outside backer, but he gets
Too
beat in
small.
coverage. He's too
Yeah,
small. To be
yeah,
honest
gets
with you, I
pushed
think
around.
their next starting linebacker really has been playing special teams right now. And that's Trotter Jr. You want to talk about a chip off of the old block? That kid is just fierce, man.
Yeah, and
I,
you
I'm
want to
I,
see
like
what he
they.
has.
I would love to see what he has, but unfortunately, I guess they're kind of stuck trying to play Nakobe just so we can get out of him. I hope Nakobe turns it around because he's been kind of up and down this year. He's had a couple good games, had
Yep.
a couple not so good games. So, I'm pulling for the kid. I like to see that Georgia triangle work, but if they got to take him out and throw Trotter Jr. in there, Trotter Jr.'s been making plays on special teams as well. So, I mean,
And at
again,
least he contributes. You
me,
want to see what he has.
right? But I really want to see how they use Zach Bond this week, uh, mirroring Daniel Jones because he's just as quick as Daniel Jones is, and we need somebody because Daniel Jones always seems to find a crease against us, and he always
Yeah.
breaks a long one.
Well, let's see if he just breaks a long fall. You know.
That was
Um.
great.
Like
When
that's
that happened,
oh my friend. Oh my
when
fucking. Oh my god.
my son over here calls me on the phone and goes, "No, I don't ever want to hear you talk about our turf again." He goes, "Your turf just cost Daniel Jones a touchdown." I
I
was
couldn't
in
believe
tears.
that. Got another
Yeah, the
comment here.
fucking thing just up and grabbed his leg. Like,
Got
fucking
another
cheap
comment
ass
about
turf.
the lowly Cowboys, which we enjoy immensely. Dallas can't run the ball. It's so vanilla. That guy is down CD. Yep, he like stares him down. Last week, 7 passes, 6 went to CD. Cook plays in 2 weeks. Only way to win is Jerry's ass suddenly passes. He says
Oh man,
26-23 Eagles. I could see it being something like that. I'm going to say, for a prediction, I'm going to say 21-17 Eagles. I think it'll be a close game, but I think
I'm going
Giants
to
offense won't
say,
score
since you
enough.
two,
So it's good to see you, Mike, back at the box. And
I'm going to
Nakobe Dean was
say,
yeah.
trying to Georgia elite defense.
I'm going to
Go ahead.
say 23-20. Giants late field goal. Since y'all are taking the Eagles, I'm never going to take the fucking Eagles in my life.
Watch him
So,
miss 2
Hey,
field
look,
goals again.
listen. It could definitely go that way. It really can. And
Yeah,
thank you guys for having me on here. It feels good to be back on the box. I haven't been on here
absolutely. Absolutely,
in a
man.
long time, but I love doing this shit. Me and you, Danny, we always busted up Eagles, Giants, kid. We always go back and forth with this.
Yep.
But I really think this week, guys, no matter what, I know we shit talk with one another, but
Yeah.
man, just grab your favorite food, sit back, and it's going to be a
Oh, man.
very entertaining game.
It's going to be an
Either which way,
entertaining
I
game
don't.
regardless.
the
Yeah,
Giants
I
turf
mean,
gets the
both of them.
revenge on Saquon Barkley. He breaks his leg.
Oh, jeez. I
Now,
don't want to
see,
wish it. No, don't do that.
now, see, don't do
I
that
said
because
breaks
Now
then
his
we're
it,
going to
leg.
get
That's
killed like
4
4
weeks,
6
God.
or
I didn't say
something.
tears his Achilles and is out for the season.
here, here it goes.
I want Dexter Lawrence
Wicked
God,
to
injury.
all right. He stubs his
knock
fucking
him the
toe and
hell
misses the
out. That's
game.
what I want. That's what I would like to see. I like to see Dexter Lawrence wallop him a couple times on the inside.
Oh,
But
I
I'm
just want
pretty
Barkley's
sure
somebody
that
to
good.
that's
hit
it.
him hard, and then like when they're getting up, use his helmet to push themselves up.
Or
That's all I
Newman. I
want
like
to
to
see.
see Newman give him a nice shot because Tyler Newman is good, the rookie. But
Yeah, I like him.
about one more thing to look for is Banks versus Brown. Banks versus Brown. Burns versus the other tackle you have. Dexter Lawrence versus your inside
Landon
offensive
Dickerson.
line.
That's going to be Landon Dickerson and
Yep.
Cam Jurgens. Yeah, that's going to be
So the
a
Giants are
battle
going
right
to
there.
have to do some twists and some stuff to figure it out. But it was excellent having it on your show talking Eagles Giants. big time rivalry.
Always.
Obviously, I'm hoping we get a win because the Giants really need this win. I think the Eagles probably needed to, because for them, they
Yeah, I
want to
mean,
get
we all
momentum.
need it.
You know,
We all need it because Washington looks like they're trying to run away with the division, but I
yeah,
think they're a
yeah. That's
fraud.
what I was
I
thinking. Like
think they're
last week, I'm like, walk
I
Washington,
think
like
they're a
run away
fraud.
with this shit. Their
Yeah, but
defense
you
is
know what? I think they're a fraud. They're a fraud. They're gonna hit. They're gonna come back to earth too. Paul, tell Paul I'm sorry about his Cowboys. I
He
mean,
said,
shoot.
F both of your teams. And I say, F the 3 other teams in our division, period. You know?
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
guys.
Tell
Well,
Paul
thank
to
you
make.
guys for joining us tonight.
Yep.
I'm Big Ev.
I'm Danny. Mike,
Thanks,
thank you
Pop,
for
for
joining
joining
us.
us.
And
See you
we'll be
Thank
next
you guys
back
week.
for
next
having me.
week. Big Blue Power Hour. Thank you for joining us. Everybody have a good weekend. Enjoy college football tomorrow and go Big Blue. Later, all.